Good morning, everybody. What is going on? And welcome to Wake and Base with Alex63501 in a new and exciting venue, my plant room. What's going on, everybody? Hope you all have had a fantastic week. Thank you so much for dealing with all of my ridiculous shenanigans of being late 2 weeks in a row with my videos and making all these wonderful promises about doing polls in the community and falling behind. But you guys have been fantastic and you've shown so much love and support this week. And I feel like it's going to be a successful day because today we're covering a much requested album by a phenomenal artist named Kenjiro Sakiya. Yes, I said his name wrong. Sakiya, not Sakurai. See? True wake and base this morning. I literally got up 30 minutes ago before I have to go to work in a little bit, which is why we're starting earlier today. Sorry for those of you who didn't get the message. But as I mentioned, this album is phenomenal. Kenjiro Sakiya. Very interesting, not only album, but interesting characters we're going to get into later today. Somebody who I'm convinced, for those of y'all who have watched or ever heard of Batman, I'm pretty sure he is the keeper of the Lazarus Pit, for he is 700 years old, because I don't think he has aged a day since 1763. He looks like an old school dude who's looking pretty good for, I think he's about 60 years old. I'm being silly. But this first album here is his first debut album, although it's not his first official musical work. We'll get a little bit more into that later. But this album is interesting because we've got a nice combination of what I always like to do here with y'all on the morning Wake and Base channel, which is look at some established musicians that we've seen a lot of in the past and combine that with a vision for an album or a concept with an artist. So we're going to explore a lot of that today because Kenjiro definitely has his own ideas about things, and it's a pretty cool blend, and we're gonna dive a little bit more into that here pretty soon. But I want to go ahead and give some special shout outs here just right off the get-go. First of all, Kodu, what's up? Good to see you. Very congratulations. If y'all are not on Reddit, go over to Reddit and check out r/Omega Tribe. I can't remember which one of y'all started it, but I know that Code is one of the moderators over there. Very cool budding community that's just starting. They've got awesome stuff on Omega Tribe. All Omega Tribes. I bet they'll even do some Weather Report if you ask them. Or Weather Side. What's it called? Weather Side? Weather Report is that's the female group that did It's Raining Men. For another day. Also want to go ahead and say good morning to people like Mark, the person who made our wonderful intro that we saw just a few minutes ago. Thank you so much. I'm going to use that for the rest of the time. We got Pop Bass Me, a absolute machine in the bass video production world. I think he's done like 6 videos in 8 days. Go check it out. They're awesome. He's on a huge K-pop kick right now, so go get some. Go get you some. And then I think we got people like Dave saying hi in the chat here. I think he might be still asleep. Sleep well. And then, of course, we got our Master of Research, Master of Al, who has provided us with a ton of phenomenal extras here today. So I'm not going to talk too much more. We're going to go jump right into good things. So that means goodbye, Mr. Takanaka. Patrice Russian. I'm going to have to go back and do this entire album again. I love it so much. And actually, speaking on that idea, I have had several people contact me asking me specifically, hey, could camera change? Hey, it's been a while since I've done that. Specifically asking me things like, hey, can you redo this song? Or, you son of a bitch, why didn't you cover this one song on this album? That second one is actually the one I've gotten 3 different times. One was for Omega Tribe, one was for, I think it was an Henri album, and then one was real random. I don't know, but somebody was real salty about their favorite 1979 album of some kind. They're like, you didn't play this song, you're dead to me. Unsub. So I'm going to go back through and check all those out because I don't think it was until we got until about episode 30 or so that we fell into our formula. Speaking of formula, let's go ahead and look at what we're going to be doing here today that's going to be a little bit different. Again, wrong camera. I'm a little poor boy, and I only have one monitor. So we're going to be switching around things from thing to thing. But I thought in an effort to try to keep everybody a little more appraised as to what is going on, we've got this wonderful little ticker thing down there. So it is going to tell us what the name of the artist is, the album, and what song is. So for those of y'all just jumping in, you can have an idea of what we're listening to and not be totally left in the dark. Okay, now before we jump into this very, very first song here, I just want to do a baby just lightning fast overview of this cat. So here we go. Kenjiro Sakiya. This is not a photo of him from the 90s. This is a photo of him from like 4 or 5 years ago. I had to check. I did research on this more than I did on the music because I was like, this can't be right. This guy, even if he is wearing a bunch of makeup, like this dude does not look like he's 58 years old. But lo and behold, man, this is him when he's like 55, 56. So this cat has been around a long time, and he has done a lot of really interesting things. Not just solo albums, not just composing music for other artists' solo albums, but mega versatile. We are talking movies, TV, anime, video games, all the way consistently until I think today. The last thing I was able to find was a 2019 project. And we're going to call the year of COVID. We're going to give you a break on that if you're not out touring, moving, and grooving. But it's an impressive thing to have a 40-year career that is solid, absolutely solid. And just to give you a little taste of this here, as we go into the old ja.wikipedia.com, we can start scrolling here quickly through just how he started with his singer-songwriter era in 87, which there's even previous things that we can talk about that we will. But 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, let's see if we get 1 year gap. 99, 2000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they combined 2004 and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It just gets more and more and more and more and more and more. And he was also ill at one point in time. I know he was dealing with some kind of sickness that knocked him out for a couple months, but then he was like, boom, right back. Lazarus Pit. There you go. Made him feel better. So this guy, no joke. And another thing that is no joke with this cat, the people that he pulled in for his album, now Master of Al, saved us a ton of time today. So we've already got high-res inserts. Yes, yes. And some things that just pop right off on the top of my head that I can see here, just going through the names that I'm excited about here. Let's go ahead and see what we got. So I saw a couple yesterday as I was glancing through preparing here. Okay, for keyboards, Nobuo Kurata. That is a name we've seen before. We haven't talked a ton about them, but we have seen that name. For drums, Jun Aoyama, Tatsuro Yamashita's drummer. 2 weeks in a row we've seen him, so making another comeback. Hideo Yamaki, another drummer name I've seen, but I can't put off the top of my head where they're at. Kenji Takamizu, bass player, very well known. I'm not sure if they really had a solid group that they played with, but he has made lots of appearances in albums such as this, just kind of popping around from place to place, spicing on a little funk on the top. And then, of course, we've got our big bad, can never be reproduced, never be recreated, Koki Ito, laying it down here for us. One of the songs we're going to get into here, we'll see if you can figure out which, was on my Koki Ito Best Stuff collection from whatever, 4 or 5 months back. And we finally get to answer the question of who was playing synth bass and who was playing real bass. So we're going to get into that here a little bit. Surprise, surprise, the synth bass was Kenjiro Sakiya. We can see right here. Guitar, Yuji Toriyama. I think that's our same shred guitarist from last time. We're going to have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that be he. And then we've got a guest artist there for one track. We got some synth operators, Jun Fukazawa. That might be a pseudonym for our synthesizer boy from way early back in the early Wake and Bass days. We have the absolute worst named percussion of all time, Pecker. Moving on. We got some other people, some interesting things, and then here are the last two things I'm very excited about. Strings, Joe Strings, translate that, Joe Kato Group, which is one of our big string collectives. And then for the chorus, Eve. And Eve is one of those choruses that I want to say Yorie Kokubu is either in or she was once a part of, but we're gonna get some cool stuff, and there's one song on here that just gives me mad Shambara vibes, and it's like, ooh, so excited. Okay, well, nobody can say I don't stick with the formula. 10 minutes of nonsense talking, followed by some good music. Let's go ahead and jump right in here so that the bottom scroller is actually telling the truth here. We are listening to the very first track here off of Kenjiro Sakiya's first debut album, Difference. And the song we're listening to is called Difference in Time. Ooh, off to a good start with synthesizer horns. I like it. And if at any point in time you think you might be listening to some Wham or George Michael, just hold on, because it gets way better than Wham. What is up, Break? Good morning, my brother. Good to see you here. So, again, we're going to be sticking with that idea of last week when we were listening to Yuiko, where this album really takes us on a journey. If you're expecting the rest of the album to be Wham, you hear some Careless Whisper in the next couple tracks? Nah. Now where's June in here? Oh, naughty people. Yeah, I like those horn stabs. June Fukazawa. Let's look that up. Ooh. Hey, Koki Ito. Time for the first Alex63501 rewind. Okay, one of the many reasons why Citypop keeps me coming back for this morning show. Very, very interesting pop songwriting. So, real quick, just 10-second overview. You generally have an intro, then a verse, chorus, sometimes a pre-chorus, but you got verse, chorus, solo, another chorus, outro. That's the most standard general form when you start messing around with it. These guys, on top of adding like a pre-chorus, maybe something a little shorter, maybe something a little longer, they throw stuff like this in. Modulation fill, nope, kidding. Listen to this. We got a cool little bass line fill. We're waiting for more bass, no more bass. Then some weird chaos happens for like half a measure, and then we're fine. Let's check it out. Wonderful. Can I get another one? Oh, okay, no. Not even half a measure, just like one beat of what? Very cool writing. Very Wham song, but in the best way. Hey, what's going on, Justin? Good to see you. Welcome. Okay, here's a good one from Mark. We've discussed in the past AOR, which to me is a new term. I've heard of things that are similar to that. We have what's called yacht rock in America, which is not like this, but AOR either stands for adult oriented rock, which is like yacht rock, or album-oriented rock. What are the differences? We can argue later, but Mark's got a nice new addition here. Adventure-oriented rock. I like that. I like that. And then we get those sweet synth horns. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, now I always gotta give my YouTube shout outs to everybody here who's kind enough to give these kinds of things online. Jack Bankerin, whomever you may be, subscribe. Thank you for providing this album on YouTube, because right now all these albums are still there until VAP and all these other people decide to snatch them up and copyright me down. So until then, let's enjoy it together. Now, I couldn't stop myself from clicking on Pecker because, you know, I'm 13 years old. So this guy, reminding myself now, beyond his terrible, well, not terrible name, just unfortunate name in English. This guy's all over the place with redonkulous percussion, okay? He's our guy who's in Prism. He plays with Jun Fukamachi. This is the person who I was confusing just a moment ago with Jun Fukazawa, who is a recording engineer and a songwriter. We can see he's got some credits here, but it only says he's got 18 credits, which I can just tell totally wrong. This is probably an audio engineer who just people didn't care to put his name in. Sorry, buddy. We'll fix it for later. But looking at Pecker here for a second, this cat ain't messing around. So he's all over. We got the Sadistic Mika band, Sadistics. That's one of their versions of the band. That was something with Tatsuro Yamashita. No, maybe? Tatsuro Yamashita was with the Taiko Onuki in Sugar Bear? I'll get it wrong, and somebody will correct me, because that's just how this channel works. But without going all the way into it, 244 performance credits. Not vocal, not production, not tech, and everything else. Just that. So that's pretty impressive right there. Okay, before we talk about Koki Ito and Kenji Takamizu, one of my favorite bass players and another phenomenal bass player, let's talk just a little bit about who this cat is, Kenjiro Sakiya. And then we'll go into our second track here. But just to give you an idea of what I was talking about with that song having that weird one measure, like, what happened? That's a very art school composition thing. So we've got ourselves a classically trained cat here. So unlike, if you'll remember, Ryo Fukui, Fukui, I think that's his name, our unbelievable jazz pianist who had our trio. We listened to them 2 or 3 weeks ago. The album, I believe it was called Scenery. Really, really great. That guy taught himself piano starting at 24 and released one of the greatest jazz piano trio albums of all time 4 or 5 years later. He was like 28 or 29. Unbelievable self-taught. This is a little bit different. He started at the age of 3. And his dad, who was a practicing jazz pianist at a U.S. military camp, taught him. And so he introduced him to all sorts of different things. And I'm just reading off the Wikipedia here, but a couple of the names that were mentioned were Duke Ellington and Ryoichi Hattori. And I'm not sure who this cat is, but if I had to guess, I'm going to guess that he is a Japanese jazz musician. And it looks like he is a Japanese composer and orchestrator. So, not too far off. As he was studying music, he became super interested in all this stuff at the age of 10 and started composing. So then when he was in junior high school, he started playing classical piano, and he started to play along with the brass band and formed a copy band, which is a word that means a band that duplicates and plays the music of famous bands. We really need to go through into Google Translate and just change a couple words. We call that a cover band. A copy band is a little, like, it's exactly the same thing, but at least in America, where we have like the thinnest skin on the planet, and someone's like, you want a copy band? No, it's a cover. It's my version. It's a cover. It's different. My guitar's out of tune. Anywho, point is, this guy got started way early, and here's what is interesting to me. When he went to high school, he started listening to Ravel and Stravinsky. A little bit of interesting 20th century composers. Yes, I like that. Familiar with techno, disco, punk, and new wave, and all those kinds of things that were coming up in the 70s and 80s. So why do I stop here and take us to the next song? Because that is what I want y'all to start listening for. Some blending of the classical with the pop. So the American thing that I can think of that was like one of the big first times this happened, that if Dad 63501 is out there, he'll roll his eyes in his chair. Barry Manilow and Chopin. Oh yeah, I can hear my dad hundreds of miles away groaning. So Barry Manilow, many years ago. Let's see if I can find it. Barry Manilow. He took Chopin's, I want to say it was the C major prelude, and and what he did is he used it as the intro to one of his songs, Could It Be Magic? And I remember the first time I heard this song, I was like, whoa, man, that is such interesting piano work. Man, that sounds like Chopin. That's really cool. Man, good job, Barry Manilow. And then my dad was like, are you listening to that dumbass Chopin ripoff? I was like, oh no. So anyway, my dad, phenomenal lover of all music, but that pushed him a little too far. So Barry Manilow, if you're out there listening, you done goofed in my dad's eyes, but that's okay. I still like some of your songs. Now, too much talking from me. We're going to keep going here. Here's our next song, Situation, and keeping in full honesty of what I said, you're not going to know where this one's going. Yes. Now we're talking, baby. Synthesizer, baby. Ooh, and we got the master himself right here. Morning, Al. Good to see you. And we're about to dive into your wonderful shenanigans, so perfect timing. Wrong camera. There we go. As always, way behind in the chat. My apologies. Hello to everybody. Good to see y'all. Ooh, that was interesting drums. All right, who's playing that guitar? It is our shred guitarist. That makes sense, baby. Oh, it's somebody else. Oh, I have no idea what this says, but I like this picture. Looks like a mugshot to me. Oh. And insert training montage indeed, Pop Bass Me. This is it. Do the push-ups. You only got 2 weeks to the competition. You're never gonna make it. Oh yeah! I guarantee you this is our boy Yuji. Yes. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Drum breakdown. That's just cool. Hell Yeah, man. Situation. Like, that's not the same side. Oh, so cool, man. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Hey, I may not keep my promises on Discord, but I do keep my promises about weird albums that we're going to all enjoy together. So, going from Barry Manilow back to our Yuiko album from last week, we have pivoted hard on a dime from, well, I'm going to go ahead and call it like a Wham, like a more rocking version of Wham with better vocals. Sorry, George Michael. You're fine, but you kind of, careless whisper, you peaked. To our second song here, Situation, which is that is such a head bopping song. As I think my favorite was Pop Bass Me was like, oh yeah, here's our montage song. Here's what we got going on. Just like, yeah. There we go. Good. Okay. Fico Mate. What's up, Fico? Good to see you, brother. Does he read the chat here? I do read the chat here, but I read it much faster. If you go to the Alex63501 Discord, totally free. Come join us. We've got all this stuff. It's archived, all the videos, all the songs, all the stuff, all the info. Come join us. But until then, good to see you. Good to have you here. Now, moving on here, talking about what we got. Yeah, nice. Talking about who we've got going on in this album. We can see here, so Discogs, those of you who are just joining us, people like Master Val, Citypop Dave, Pop Bass Me, Repop, all these people, they go in here, they change stuff, they add things. It's phenomenal. This is a really great way to tie everybody together. So who we were looking at just now were our two guitarists, Yuji Toriyama, who was he was the core guitarist from our album last week, Always in Love, just shredding it up. Let's see if we can find, these are his solo albums. Yeah, we can just see in his credits of what he's been a part of. Look at that. He's on Hiroshi Sato. He's on EPO. We've got Yuji Toriyama. I'm trying to see, where can we find our album from 1987 from last week? Let's see if I can even get there in time. But this guy absolutely shreds. I compared him to Rat, if you've ever listened to that metal band, hair metal band from the 80s, or something like Power Tool, or maybe what are their name? Mr. Big with, what is his name? The guitarist who's so good. Somebody will hit me up. Billy Shahan is he's the bass player in that group. Anywho, really, really good guitarist. And again, anytime you see his name, you know you're going to get a screaming solo. But Haruo Kubuto, this guy, he played in that song too. So I'm not sure if he was screaming that guitar solo or if it was somebody else, but he was a part of it. Now, looking a little more here at some of our other interesting and notable musicians here, let's find our synthesizer person, because we've had a very strong representation so far of our drums, or of our synth horns and synth strings, even though we do have real strings coming out. Now, it looks like this might just be Kenjiro, because I'm not seeing any other synth. Yeah, I think that's all him, baby. So he's getting us all of those synthesizer sounds or one cat. So, pretty good. Now, so it says here Satoshi Takebe is doing keyboards, also with these guys, but they would have put synth if it wasn't just playing keys, if it wasn't just holding it down in the background. So I think Kenjiro is really, really taking us to the next level here with keeping his promises as far as, I'm the synth player all the time. And now, with this next song here, now let me take 1 second to go back here, because I think I skipped over something very interesting, which is the music video that Owl was kind enough to find for us. So Master of Owl, our Master of Research, has gotten a ton of phenomenal info for us here. I'm going to jump out of the Discord here for a second. Yeah, here we go. Now, we're just going to listen to this a little bit in the background here, because we just listened to the song and I was a fool and didn't play the video. But this video has the exact opposite problem my video had. If y'all remember my Omega Tribe video, where I was making that 500 sub list and I was hanging out and it was just silly videos of me playing bass and trying to talk to my roommates, and it was like stationary videos. whoever edited this decided, like, somebody was like, hey, have you ever heard of cocaine? And they're like, no, I have not. And they're like, would you like to try some? And he's like, sure, give me all of it. And here we go. This guy's like, all I know how to do is smashed time cuts. Bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. Should they be with the time? No. Switch it up. Make them random sometimes. Well, should it ever be with the time? Yes, but only enough to confuse somebody so that they think it's on time, but it's actually not in time. Should I put a picture of a Pepsi ad in here? Absolutely. I don't know if they did. But as we can see here, and yeah, now we've got some kind of weird like webcam thing going on. Smoking a cigarette. I'm gonna save us some time though. It doesn't stop. It never changes. You see, you thought it was gonna change? No. No, it just keeps going. And then just some dude. That is absolutely just some dude. He's not in the band. There's Kenjiro. And some water. Okay. Anyway, important to know because Al has hooked us up with tons of videos here. We can't go through all of them because there's like 10. He's a champion. But we're going to look through a couple of them and a couple of the live ones too because we get some really interesting sounds. Now, let's jump into our next track here because got to keep going on. Dang it. This album is great and I have to go to work in a little bit, so we're just going to keep cranking through. But let's, again, listen to the intro of this song because we just jump full tilt into his stuff. So here's our third song. I cannot speak Japanese, but I will put it up on the screen. So here's the end of end of Situation. And now let's jump into the Japanese. Ooh. Now we got some Koki Ito and some Joe Kato. Those are real strings, baby. Tasty. I like that shaker. Good job, Pecker. My name is Pecker. Oh, that's what I get. Drop me a link, I'll join. Oh, nice. Good job, Fico. Join us up. I'm glad you like it, Chain. Yeah, this album is dope, man. It's cool. Super cool. That is so funny. All right, we got one of the cats in the chat talking about giving him Sega vibes. When I was listening to this yesterday, one of the tracks, my roommates goes, "Are you listening to the Sonic the Hedgehog soundtrack?" And I was like, "What?" No, he's like, "Dude, that sounds like some shit right out of Sonic Adventure 2." And it's like the one where your knuckles and you're flying around, and I was like, "Yeah, it actually does." So we'll listen to that when we get there. Ooh, I gotta stop talking, man. We're missing some sweet Koki fills, or maybe it's Tomikura. I don't know. Oh, we can find out. No, we can't. Oh, that's a good bass line. Very, Very, very cool. I can see Mark furiously typing something. I love it. All right, let's get the strings set up. Who's gonna solo? It's an EWI! I don't know if it was an EWI, but it was definitely some kind of like synth wind of something. There we go. Oh, I'm excited for whatever Mark is gonna type because he's been furiously typing for like 2 minutes now. Awesome. Okay, here we go. And for Mark, he says it sounds a lot like Night's Journey of Dreams. Hell yeah. The orchestration giving me that vibe. Okay, there is a reason why we're all making these connections to our video games. Also, people have been doing studies. I mean, it's all new. It's people like me, goobers like me, who are getting their doctorates in music. And we're gonna control the knowledge of the musical world. But people are going out and doing all these tie-ins now of why our pop music and our current contemporary music sounds so much like video game music, and a lot of it has to do with this city pop influence that we didn't even know we had because of the video game stuff. All these people who are making music here, I guarantee you at least 3 of these people off these albums, 3 prominent people here, all have strong video game connections of some kind, either composition, playing in the background, getting inspiration from it. I mean, we looked at, Yellow Magic Orchestra. One of their first albums, they did covers on synthesizers of Galaga and of Pac-Man and like Atari games. You know, they were not afraid of pushing the realms of chiptune before chiptune even really existed. So it's very cool to hear all these things because this kind of funk is the kind of video game funk we hear, where it's not like Red Hot Chili Peppers or George Clinton or anything like that. It's just these tiny little just repeating things that are like, whoa, that's so funky, that's so funky. And it's just like one little snippet from a city pop song. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, now, gotta keep going. Man, running out of time. I could talk, might have to part 2 this here on another day because this is just so ding-dong good. All right, here's Eve. Eve is that vocal backup group I was talking about. No Yorie Kukubu, however, all over the place on important albums. So 135 vocal credits for playing in the backgrounds. Let's just quickly jump in here, see if we can find just a couple. Okay, Miki Matsubara, a pop star. We got her in there. Let's see here. Meiko Nakahara, somebody that most people know at least a little bit of. Let's try to find one more here. Henri. There we go. I can't stop myself. Henri again. So, very important background singers. When we listen to that song later that sounds like Shambara, you're going to hear it. Now, Yasuo Tomikura. Here's our guy from Paradigm Shift. So, he's one of our bass players on here. Phenomenal. Played with Maria Takeuchi, Takanaka, Masayoshi, my homeboy, Kingo Hamada, Makoto Matsushita, Toshiki Katamatsu, Jake Concepcion. Oh, that's like the best page I've ever seen in my life. So good right there. So that's another cat we got in here. And then again, Jun Aoyama. We've already talked about him in the past. He's our our drummer for Tatsuro Yamashita and his band for a long time. So he's super important. Joe Kato, we got a little taste of him. Who else have we not talked about? Hideo Yamaki. Let's look a little bit at him. He's another one of our drummer percussionists. Oh, he's got crazy number of credits. Let's just look and see if we can find something real quick that pops out. So starting in 1976. Judy Anton. This album keeps popping up. I have never listened to it. I want to listen to it so bad. It's going to be in the future. Maya Mane. Boom. Phenomenal singer. I know her, again, here's our connection, Cowboy Bebop. She's the vocalist for the anime, one of the vocalists for Real Folk Blues. That's probably what people know her most for. Unbelievable artist. Her voice is so good, and her voice has only gotten better in 40 years. And there we go, Meiko Nakahara, again, fantasy. All right, we got to keep rolling through this album because I just am going to get stomped behind. But this next one we've got, is called Half Moon, and I'm going to go ahead and jump a little bit to what Master of Owl has hooked us up with here. So as we're listening to a little bit of this intro, I'm going to get the music video of a live version ready, and then we're going to watch a little bit of that so we can see what he's sounding like 20 years after the fact. Here we go. So this is Half Moon, track 4 off of 1987's Difference. Let's take a listen. Now that, oh yeah. These chords, man, these chords are so good. Oh man, yeah. Once again, Alex63501 Discord is only as strong as its community. Break got a really great insight in here talking about how the connection between the video game composers in Japan and, as he puts it, that defined the music we heard in games for many years had Western influences as well as domestic Japanese influences. You see, that's a way better sentence than I could have put together myself. Excellent. I totally agree. Good insight. No, what'd I do? That is a cool name. Shine Cosme? Nice to see you. I'm glad you enjoy these hard-hitting Japanese hits. With that hard-hitting guitar. Oh yeah. We got another discussion here talking about the composer for Mario, who there's been so many things done on that cat. Eventually, you know, somewhere down the line when I'm a multi-millionaire on my YouTube channel, that will be one of the videos I do. Now, we just have to work on one of you guys winning $1 billion, and then just give me like $1 million. You'll still have almost $1 billion. Okay, I gotta get that music video. Here we go. We got that sweet, heavy synth feel. And so far, we've followed this formula of giving a solo. So let's hear who shreds here. Oh, I wish it was Jake. Now that was a note, baby. He nailed that. Hidefumi Tokoi, or Toki. Let's check him out real quick. Tasty, baby. Man, he's got 12 albums. Wow. That's impressive. Played with Maria Takeuchi. Oh, he was on Right on Time. That's pretty good. Rajier, more Tatsuro. Lots of Tatsuro Yamashita. Lots of Tatsuro Yamashita. Okay. So it would appear that this cat plays a lot with Tatsuro Yamashita. It's like 5 albums with him. My goodness. 5 albums before this one. My goodness. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. He plays with Tots, baby. And if we weren't talking enough about Sega before, boom. Guardian Heroes. This is a game that I played on the Sega Saturn. I didn't have a Sega Saturn because I was a poor child, but now that I have emulators, I play this all the time, and it is cool as shit, and the music is awesome. Also, here's Nazo Nazo, our guy we looked at a couple weeks ago, who was doing the same thing, where it was like, who the hell is this guy making this random-ass album? Sure enough, he was a video game music composer who was just branching out and working with some other people, and look who's playing bass, Naoki Watanabe. This is so great. Again, you can just, no matter who you're trying to find, what you're trying to do in Citypop, again, not a genre, a time and place, 1975 to like 1990, 1992 Japan, you do not have to do 7 degrees of separation. You can just be like, this album to this to that. Boom. Anybody to anybody. Such an amazing volume of music. Okay, now let's take a little bit of listen here to the live version of the same song done 3 years ago. And look at this guy. He still looks like he's in his late 30s. That's funky. This is gonna sound really demeaning, but like, that's a funky ass old dude. And look at that. He's just like, I know I'm cool as shit. This guy's cool as hell, man. He's so cool. And this brings up one more fact I want to talk about. Man, I'm just running so much at a time. He did all this stuff with both visual arts and with compositional arts in school. So he started this band called Vision, which is like, it sounds to me like an art collective project. It was an all male group, but I guess, what is it? What's an MTR? Multi-track recorder? Okay, well, whatever. He was doing loop stuff, you know, early version of loop stuff in the 80s. And then this is 1981 too, and so this is 5 years before he did the album. And they had other stuff together and they were doing things, but I wanted to bring that forward just to show you that the experimental background has clearly made a little bit of influence here in what we're listening to today with our songs. Now, we got to keep going through because I'm just running out of ding-dong time. This person is just way too interesting of a person. But now, oh yeah. Here we go. This is the song I did from Koki Ito where we've got this beautiful... Okay, I don't want to talk over it because it's such a cool blend here. We've got synth drums the whole time, just blasting. Then we've got Kenjiro just fat as hell on the synth bass. And then Koki Ito just comes at us almost exclusively with pops. He does a little bit of slaps, but he's mostly just popping the crap out of his Stingray. Let's enjoy this together. It's just so loud. Yeah. It's like they turn everything else down. And all these weird sounds in the background too. Hell yeah, man. Great vocals too, man. That chord progression. Oh. It's like the third time he's used it, but it's so good. This is the Shambara song. That's Eve singing. But it sounds like Shambara. All right, let me get back to the channel here. Vision, okay. Please listen to Vision, Psychotic Cube. I'll do it for you, Al. I will do it for you. Helicopter synth, yeah. Oh yeah. Welcome, Labo. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Welcome. Here, let me give you a proper welcome to the channel here. Okay, let's see if we can find this cube. Vision, psychotic cube. love that chorus, man. Yeah. All right, key solo finally. Rewind. That is a very subtle but excellent use of post-production stutter. So he's got this chord that he's hitting, and they slice it up for it's like ta-da-dum. Listen to how they slice up the chord. You can't really do that in real life, but man, that's a cool post-production tip. Hate to click it out slow in this solo here, but we're running out of time because unfortunately, I actually have a job now, which pays me money, and I have to go to work. Oh, so cool. And again, let's rewind just to hear just how nifty this is. Oh, we're done. No, we're not. Hey, what's going on, Zal? Good to see you. Daniela, Poppy. Oh, yeah. Back into that chorus. Hell yeah, man. Bum, 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 bum. So good. So good. Okay. Gonna have to turn it down and just keep talking here since we're running out of time. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, who else have we not looked at here that deserves a little bit of checking out? Okay, so Susumu Kazuhara. I want to say this is our seatbelts cat. I am 100% incorrect. But this is a trumpet player who is all over the place. Oh, look at that, Tatsuro. Okay, so he's another Tatsuro Yamashita cat. Rajier, there we go. Fantastic playing on that album. Keep looking through here. Yumi Matsutoya, Wake and Bass #1, always feels good. Oh man, Koki Ito just crushing it on the bass. I love it, so good. All right, massive career here for Susumu Kazuhara as our trumpet player there. Okay, and again, we are just running low on time here, but I do not want to deny everybody of the goodness. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one more song, which is our next track, St. Elmo's Fire. But do not despair. I will not leave you hanging for the last tracks. I'll come back later, do a little bit more, and we'll call it something silly like episode 74 part B. And we'll do a little bit more here in the next day or two. I'll talk to y'all. Who knows? Maybe I'll get done with work today early. Today is it's a massive concert where we have to hook up more microphones than I knew could be hooked up into a recording board, which will be very cool, but it's a lot of cables to keep organized. So here's the last track we're going to listen to today while we're wrapping stuff up a little bit. St. Elmo's Fire. Now, I feel like that is something I should know what that is. And I don't. I like that synth chorus. Very chill. Okay, we're gonna use this one as our nice background wrap-up music here. So, confirmed, coming back to this album. Gonna finish up the last half here since I'm running out of time today. But just as a little bit of a recap here, just to go over what we've found out or discovered here about this artist. First things first. Very interesting cat as far as just showing that no matter how much Citypop we listen to together and we go through, you can still always find people who are putting unique spins on it. Which to me, and as I'm sure it is to a lot of you as well, that's one of the appeals of this genre, is that it keeps surprising you. And since these bands, or rather these people, don't have bands, it constantly fluxes and changes up a little bit. Just like when we were listening to Half Moon. Half Moon on the album, pretty darn cool, sounds neat. Listening to 2017 live version by himself, pre-produced, of Half Moon. Very different. Excellently cool, but different. So that ability to morph and have fluidity in your music creation really is a hallmark of longevity, because if you do I was talking to my roommate the other day, if you're 98 degrees, no one's gonna remember you except to make fun of you for being in 98 degrees, because you were too late. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, who was the other Britney Spears person? Christina Aguilera, whomever, that was established. And then 98 Degrees tries to come and do the exact same thing, but it's like, dude, there's 3 of you now instead of 5. Like, if I didn't care before, I really don't care now. This is not the case. Yeah, this is absolutely jazz, funk, a little bit of rock, soul, but every song is different, but not different enough to kick you off the album, where it's like there's no cohesion. This is, I'm gonna go with Mark, adventure-oriented rock. We're going on a musical adventure in at least these last 2 albums between Kenjiro Sakiya and Yuiko, the Always in Love. Really phenomenal musicians, and again, I think these two and June are all 3. They play a ton with Tatsuro Yamashita all the time. Kenji Takamitsu, this is our guy from Prism, I believe. Is he in Prism? No. The Super Mario players. That's pretty good. No, but he just plays all over the place. So Kenji Takamizu, he's just one of our floaters. He plays with tons and tons of people. Koki Ito, he's also a floater, but super, super tied to Tatsuro Yamashita. So he plays a ton of his stuff. I think it's safe to say that is his bass player, because they still tour together today. Yasuo Tomikura, this is our guy who's in, not Prism, but Paradigm Shift. So very, very cool guy there. So again, different. Eve, all over the place playing. We didn't even get a chance to look at Chikaro Mikuzuki. Let's just take 1 second to look at them and check out what they've played on and just get a little taste of their instrumental performance. Nakahara, there we go. Henri, Matsubara, Toshiki Katamatsu. You see, look at this. These people are all over the place. Yeah, I mean, again, Toshiki Katamatsu. That's somebody we haven't talked about in weeks, and he has his own little group of people that, do a ton of things, on top of having people like Masayoshi Takanaka doing their own little things, on top of having people like Cassiopeia, I mean, we've got so many different groups that are in their own zone, but they still cross over, and they, play on each other's albums and help each other out. Also, has this guy got a lightsaber in the background? This has been bugging me all day. Nope, not a lightsaber, just a green light. Anyway, so in this one album, not only have we covered all sorts of things ranging from, hey, camera switch, ranging from what we would expect as far as seeing like Tatsuro Yamashita's band, or seeing people who are associated with Toshiki Katamatsu, all this prog rock, rock and roll, city pop, wave pop, AOR. But on top of that, we had our video game composer. We had a connection to jazz and to modern classical music. One of the songs I wish we could have gotten to is the very last track, which opens up with one of these kind of Barry Manilow Chopin intros, except Kenjiro did a little more homework and he wrote his own. He didn't rip it off. Sorry, Barry. So when we come back and we listen to the last 3 tracks here, we're going to go through that, take a little more dive into some of those things. But yeah, very, very cool connection here. And let's do one more pop in here with the chat. Make sure I say hello to everybody, and then we'll peace out for the day. What's up, Atheist? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us here. And let's go back into the live discussion and see what we got here. Sleigh Bell. I don't care what you say. When I hear Sleigh Bells, it's a Christmas song. Very true. I remember hearing that yesterday. I didn't get to comment about that. Very good. Oh, good. Pop Bass Me. Hope you have a good day, brother. Good to see you. Okay, here we go. St. Elmo's fire is what happens when poles on buildings and ships shoot out electricity. Hell yeah. Super cool. Very cool. See, this is why I do this, because you guys teach me way more than I teach you. Gotta love obscure electrical atmospheric phenomena. Looking at you, Red Sprites. Well, good stuff. Okay, so thank you again, everybody who joins us on this wonderful Wake and Base morning, especially for joining us so early since I have to go to work today. But we're going to keep things rolling. So the new formula here is going to be putting out a poll I will try to do that either tonight or absolute latest tomorrow morning. And what this poll will be is I'm going to give you guys 3 options to go through and to choose for the next week's topic. So I'm going to keep the number 2 from last week so that we can give that one a fighting chance, and then put 2 other new ones in there. And then if you guys, and I'm picking these from the suggestions that are already on the Discord. So stuff that already people are interested in. So we'll do that. We'll have a vote. We'll be done by, I'm going to say by Monday or Tuesday, because we don't need too much time and I need a little more time to prepare. Then I'm going to do the same thing. Unlike last week where I forgot to do the tab poll, we're going to do a tab poll this week. Make sure that we've got the right things going there. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. We got things in the work. We got a collaboration in the work. We've got new video ideas. I'm listening to your input. Again, I'm trying to make some money so I can do this. But once I have some time off here around Thanksgiving, we should have some more time to do some fun things, extra stuff. And again, this is not just my channel, Alex63501. Yeah, you can listen to me yammer on about stuff in the morning, but it's about the bigger community. It's about people like Pop Bass Me, Citypop Dave. We got Citypop bassist in there. More people than I can name. All these people doing bass videos, covers, songs, just like I'm doing. Then we got on the other side people like Repop, Master of Al, who upload rare albums and recordings to YouTube. They update all this information on Discogs, Rate Your Music, Wikipedia. Again, this is all just a community trying to share the love of this music and tie all the pieces together so that we can, in fact, play our game of 7 degrees of separation and every single time find Tatsuro Yamashita. Okay, well, until then, guys, I hope you have a great day. Like and subscribe. Always helps. Makes me feel good about myself. And any suggestions, I do listen to them and I use them. So until I see you guys later to finish this one up, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And yeah, I will catch y'all on the flip side. Have a good one, y'all. See ya.